Dear friends, please take your seats. We are ready to continue. I'd like to introduce the next team of brave innovators. They worked on a case from the company WayRay, where their task was to dive into the technology of augmented reality head-up displays for the automotive industry. The team explored how these displays can be useful for everyday drivers to turn the technology into a ready-to-use product. This case is quite challenging because it focuses on augmented reality, and most of what WayRay is developing is still in the R&D phase. It's not something you can easily experience yet. However, we managed to visit the company for a tour, and the team got the chance to test the head-up display in action. To help you understand, imagine sitting behind the wheel of a car, and instead of the usual dashboard, you see a personalized augmented reality interface projected onto the windshield. Sorry for the spoiler. But trust me, if you haven't found your seat yet, do it quickly because this case is truly amazing. I wish you all an exciting journey into augmented reality. Sergey, over to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Sergey, and I'm here to present a project from the WayRay team. Our project is related to the automotive industry, so I'd like to ask you to switch on your driver's mindset for a moment. Let me start with a question. When buying a new car, who among you would be willing to pay extra for a head-up display? What is a head-up display? Many people don't know what it is, and others aren't willing to pay extra for anything at a car dealership. They feel that dealerships often push unnecessary features. However, a head-up display is a technology that has been evolving for about 20 years. It's a system that projects specific information about the car onto the windshield, right in front of the driver, during driving. Right now, you can see on the screen a recent project from Mercedes. The modern trend is to enhance head-up displays with augmented reality features, such as navigation. For example, those arrows you see on the screen are tied to specific turns or intersections. But why hasn't this system become widespread over the past 20 years? And why is it gaining traction now? There are several trends driving this. First, electronics have become much more compact, and processing power has significantly increased. These advancements allow us to fit projectors behind the steering wheel and even integrate them into the dashboard. The second trend is the development of high-resolution maps. Now, almost all of Europe is covered by these maps, which not only outline roads but also detail individual lanes, including their boundaries and centers. This technology will be used for autonomous vehicles, but it is also suitable for regular drivers. Another trend is the development of ADAS systems, or advanced driver assistance systems, which are based on radars, lidars, and video cameras. Examples include cruise control and parking sensors. These systems are now being integrated into economy-class vehicles. For instance, the new Hyundai Creta already features these technologies. So WayRay. WayRay is a Russian technology startup that has been developing head-up display technology for over 10 years. During this time, they have achieved global leadership in this field. However, as we can see, such head-up displays are still not installed in all vehicles, and many people are not even aware of them. Why has WayRay achieved global leadership? First, compact design WayRay has managed to significantly reduce the size of the system. Competitor systems have a volume of 12 liters, while WayRay's system, thanks to new technologies, is just 2 liters. This makes it possible to install the system in almost any vehicle, including smaller and economy-class models. Second, advanced virtual projection WayRay has moved the virtual plane for image projection. While competitors project the image onto the windshield at a distance of approximately 15 meters in front of the vehicle, WayRay has extended this projection to 17 meters and even to infinity. This is essential because when you look at the horizon, you don't need to refocus your eyes. The image remains sharp, providing greater comfort for the eyes. Third, flexibility in windshield design WayRay's projectors can adapt to any windshield angle or shape. Competitors are limited because they cannot project onto windshields with steep angles, such as those found in sports cars. WayRay's technology can handle this challenge. In terms of functionality, WayRay meets all the same needs as its competitors. The primary one is navigation. This includes two-dimensional navigation tied to the vehicle, speed limits, navigation arrows, estimated time of arrival, and distance to the destination. Additionally, there are augmented reality, AR, elements, such as directional arrows at the top of the display. These are linked to specific intersections, and the surrounding environment. A R also offers features like lane marking highlights, road edge highlights, and highlights for the vehicle ahead, even displaying the distance to it. One particularly interesting feature is pedestrian highlighting. We tested this firsthand during our visit to WayRay's test site. It works impressively. When a pedestrian steps in front of the car in the dark, even before they are visible in the headlights, the display alerts you. As the pedestrian gets closer, the system brightly highlights them. This is an incredibly useful safety feature. What's next? We have the best head-up display technology from WayRay, but what's the next step? As representatives of WayRay, we aim to sell this technology to car manufacturers. But what do automakers want? Automakers want to profit from offering head-up systems as part of their vehicle configurations. However, why should we, the consumers, buy a more expensive car with a head-up system? Manufacturers simply claim that a head-up display improves the driving experience. But how much does it actually enhance it? We conducted a study with drivers of premium vehicles equipped with head-up displays without AR. Respondents told us that the head-up display feels like a novelty that quickly loses its appeal. After a few days, they revert to using the traditional instrument panel because they don't see real value in the system. We also spoke with automotive bloggers, who confirmed that the convenience of a head-up display heavily depends on the quality of its graphics and technical implementation. Currently, most systems on the market fail to provide a truly driver-friendly experience, leading many users to simply turn them off. Our goal is to uncover the real value for users and create an interface that is simple, intuitive, and not overloaded for drivers. After conducting a study with 16 drivers, we identified 5 major problems, all of which are related to driving safety. Driving in poor visibility conditions, heavy rain, snowstorms, and fog, situations we've all encountered. Falling asleep at the wheel. This is a common issue, especially when driving on highways at night or early in the morning, when drowsiness sets in. Children in the car. Surprisingly, this turned out to be a significant distraction. Those who drive with children know how demanding it can be. Music and radio. Many people can't imagine driving without music. However, the ergonomic placement of media systems in cars is often inconvenient, usually on the right side of the dashboard, forcing drivers to divert their attention from the road to adjust the system. Challenges faced by novice drivers. These can also be addressed and resolved with the help of a head-up display. In our project, we decided to focus on the first 3 problems: poor visibility, drowsiness at the wheel, and distractions caused by children in the car. We analyzed car accident statistics and found that the majority of accidents in 2019 occurred during the evening and nighttime. This aligns with the issues we are addressing. We believe drivers are more likely to be fatigued and drowsy at these times. Twilight conditions worsen visibility, and drivers may also face distractions, such as children they've picked up from school or adjusting music. How can we help? We aim to find simple, practical, and feasible solutions. Let's take a look at them. Driving in poor visibility conditions. We have the technical capability to display augmented reality on the head-up display, marking road boundaries, lane edges, and highlighting vehicles ahead. Even if the video camera cannot detect lane markings, we have access to high-resolution maps, radars, lidars, and other tools to assist. Falling asleep at the wheel. To address this, we consulted a cognitive psychologist to understand which visual stimuli can help wake up a drowsy driver. Of course, if the driver is already asleep, visual stimuli are no longer effective. However, while they are still awake but feeling drowsy, the key is to use bright, contrasting, unexpected, and non-repeating visual cues. These cues should primarily be in shades of blue, as blue light stimulates brain activity at night. I'll show you shortly how we implemented this. Children in the car. Drivers who often travel with children share that they frequently have to turn around to check on them, whether the child has unbuckled their seatbelt or is choking, for instance. For this, we propose a simple video monitoring system, which I'll demonstrate shortly. Final result: what we have developed is an assistant that covers a wide range of functions, focusing on the following: assisting navigation on the road, enhancing visibility in poor conditions, preventing drowsiness at the wheel, and ensuring safety and peace of mind when traveling with children. The interface. Let me now show you how this is all integrated. Currently, the WayRay interface works like this. I should mention that this frame does not project across the entire windshield. It only covers a specific section. WayRay's sector area is the largest compared to its competitors. Here, We have static navigation, as well as navigation with augmented reality through directional arrows. Additionally, there's highlighting of vehicles ahead. Building on WayRay's technologies, we have developed our solution for poor visibility conditions. We remove irrelevant information from the display, such as the estimated time of arrival. When it's raining heavily, this is not important, but it is crucial to see lane boundaries, and we can project these onto the windshield. It's also important to be aware of oncoming traffic and vehicles ahead, so we highlight them. Additionally, we highlight vehicles in blind spots because in snowstorms, the lamps and side mirrors can be hard to notice. Let's see how this works in real life. The driver is on the road in navigation mode and notices fog ahead. They switch to the poor weather mode using a button on the steering wheel. The car starts tracking the vehicle ahead, detects traffic buildup, and displays this to the driver. The driver begins braking early, avoiding a collision, and unlike other cars, does not get into an accident. No sleep system. The first solution we showed to users was not well received. We wanted to create sharp, contrasting shapes that would not calm but rather alarm the brain. Test subjects got scared and thought it was the headlights of an oncoming car. This kind of graphic is dangerous for a driver who is falling asleep, as they might get startled and suddenly swerve off the road. As a result, we reconsidered this solution and created a new kind of graphic. I should note that our visual system works in conjunction with other anti-sleep systems. For those who are familiar, cars have an audible warning when the driver is falling asleep, as well as vibrations in the seatbelt, or steering wheel. Let's see how this works in real life. The driver is on a nighttime road and starts to fall asleep. The car detects this. At this point, there should be a loud sound, but for some reason, it doesn't happen. If the driver presses a button on the steering wheel, the system is turned off until the next time. You may have noticed that the entire interface disappears at this moment because it's not necessary when you're falling asleep. The most important thing is to wake up the driver. Our last video is about the child in the car. We still remain within the bounds of the existing interface. However, less important information, like the time and distance to the destination, is replaced by a video feed from the backseat, where the child is sitting, by pressing a button. You may ask where this image comes from. Feel free to ask me after the presentation. How does this work in real life? Let's say our driver with the child is driving on a mountain pass and can't afford to look away from the road. They're worried about what the child is doing in the backseat. The driver presses a button on the steering wheel, and for a moment, the display shows the video feed from the backseat. The driver can see that everything is fine with the child, calms down, and the video disappears after a few seconds because video images can also be distracting. While other car manufacturers are still considering why they need a head-up display, we already have a researched set of features needed by users. We've formed a backlog of tasks that we can implement in our head-up display. These tasks are about safety while driving in poor visibility conditions, safety while driving on a night highway, and safety driving with a child in the car. I will repeat the question I started my presentation with. Now, knowing that a head-up display can help with road safety, are you ready to buy a car with a head-up display package? I can tell you a bit more about scaling, or do I already run out of time? About scaling. First, we can expand the number of features because we can research many more problems. For example, augmented reality assistance systems for beginner drivers or safe functionality related to media systems. Secondly, WayRay displays can be used not only in cars but also on ships, trains, and construction machinery. To develop these directions, we would need separate design teams since each type of vehicle and task requires its own interface. So, we can expand projects in this direction. Additionally, our assistant can include elements of machine learning. The information it displays on the head-up display can depend on the driver's experience, road conditions, regular or new routes, and geolocation. At the same time, this assistant should be linked to your personal account so that if you change vehicles, you can reconnect it. That's all from me. This is my team. Thank you, everyone. This is a great project.